I want him to be my friend. Oh no! Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Esport David, and today I'd like to play a game called Blood and Sherry. This music makes me want to burst into Dracula's castle and fight a Belmont or something. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. I like that. I like all that. That's neat. I like that. That's cool. The chime of the bell is strange. It's not a sound you've heard before, not in real life, but you've heard a similar one in movies. The deep gong of a church bell, or that from high inside a clock tower. You can almost feel the vibration. That's the only thing that tells you it isn't something coming from a video you left playing when you went to bed. Did I just go to sleep and wake up here? You turn over in bed, feeling the cool touch of silk sheets, not the cheap low-thread Count Cotton ones you picked up on discount. Even the smell is different. You pick up the faintest scent of roses in the air. You finally open your eyes. Something is wrong with this picture. This is not my room. It's not even close. It feels like something out of a period piece. All antiques and heavy wooden furniture and things you could never afford. You wonder briefly whether you're dreaming as you step out of bed to look outside. It's pitch black. What had you been doing before this? You feel groggy, like you've been asleep for some time. You're in your pajama pants as though you had just climbed into bed at home. The time just doesn't add up. You spin around to face the door as it opens. Hello there, sir. You look very cool.
Like you cut, G.
Everything about you going on right there? It's very cool. A strange man enters without invitation. Finally awake, are you? I was beginning to worry. We do have a schedule to keep.
He's got the same kind of mole as me. Ha!
The way he speaks is formal and disinterested, even when he sees how tense you are in his presence. You're sure you've never met this man in your life, but something about him does strike you as familiar. The odd little cowlicks on his head and the scar on his face are distinctive. If your mind wasn't racing right now, maybe you could place him. Throw something at him. Where am I? What is this place? Your voice croaks in an unexpected way, making you realize how dry your throat is. Athanasia Manor. His answer is so curt and simple that for a moment you don't know what to say. He did answer your question, but it was entirely unhelpful. He takes your silence as opportunity to speak again. The master of the household told me to bring you to him as soon as you woke. But what you are wearing is entirely unsuitable. I have found some items that you should find to be your size. Have your pick. You look down at the neatly folded outfits he places on the dresser. As you look over the clothing pieces, you give him a questioning look. Even as old-fashioned as it is, you find the offer of a maid costume questionable. The other outfit seems to be a near-exact copy of his, though mysteriously in your size. I like your drip, Chief. I kind of want to wear that. You finally realize while looking at this uniform that the man you're speaking with is some sort of servant. The maid uniform isn't a costume. It's a genuine uniform, and quite old-fashioned. Just like everything else in this place. I want the butler uniform! I'm gonna say it right now. Women in suits is the most hottest thing ever. I enjoy that a great deal, and I want to wear one, but I don't know how to find one. We break gender stereotypes on this channel. Whether or not there was any ill intent behind offering you a maid uniform, you won't be wearing it. The butler uniform is a pretty nice suit, and you're more confident in your ability to move around in it than if you were worried about a dress. Actually, it is easier to move around in a dress. You pick up the butler uniform and face the butler. Excellent choice. I know, right? He seems almost smug about you favoring his uniform over the maid's. He picks the dress and apron back up to take with him. I will be just outside the door while you get ready. Come out to join me once you're dressed. To your relief, he leaves you alone to get dressed. Yeah. You regard yourself in the mirror once you're in the uniform. You feel distinguished. You feel spiffier than you've ever had before. The butler seems to have found your exact size, a fact you're trying not to think too much about. Man, I wish I had a suit. I wish I had a proper suit. I want to wear a tuxedo. I want to dress like Vincent from my own game. Even if it's made for a servant to wear, it seems to be handmade, sturdily built with form in mind, in a way that makes you look very sophisticated. Maybe before you flee into the night, you'll try your hand at butlering something. That is the word, isn't it? Butlering? Butlering? Look at this dude, his nose all in the air. He's so smug. I like him. You step outside and find the butler waiting there for you. You even catch him checking his pocket watch like he thinks you're taking too long. He snaps it shut and puts it away when he notices you. Very good. What? One moment. You tense as he reaches forward and straightens your necktie for you. It was too loose. Now, follow me.
Okay.
Out here in the hallway, the smell of roses you noticed while you were walking is stronger. You can't see the gardens down below through the windows, since it's pitch black out that way. The windows look to be firmly sealed. It's doubtful the fragrance would travel so far. It becomes stronger as the two of you turn and head down another near-identical corridor. The source must be something within the house. As the butler slows, he looks back at you. Wait right where you are. Do not enter the master's chambers. I will fetch him. His gaze is intense as he says this. You take it to mean it is not just an order, but also a warning that there will be consequences if you try to disobey him and head inside anyway. Don't tempt me like that. I'm trying to follow the rules. You can see into the room when he opens the door, and you decide right then that you really don't want to go in regardless. The room is dark, and the butler takes the time to light a couple of surrounding candles. Their dim flicker shows you the large object at the center of the room, slowly as he progresses. A coffin surrounded by dried roses looks like some sort of funeral altar. It feels like some sort of strange joke when the butler lightly raps his knuckles on the lid of the coffin. I mean, why wouldn't you instantly think vampires? Why would you not instantly think that? Master, Ms. Espoir has awoken. The shock of the butler speaking your name is short-lived. As the nearer candles are lit, you can just barely make out movement in the dark as the coffin lid opens on its own. And then...
Ah!
Very good.
Oh!
Oh, sir, please. Oh. The dead man, inside the coffin, rests on a bed of roses. His clothing is unusual, and his hair is abnormally long. Sir, I know we've only known each other for 0.5 seconds, but will you marry me? Will you be my husbando? I don't even know your name yet. You see, as the light casts on him from the candle holder, his red eyes adjust. His cat-like pupils sharpen as they focus on you.
Oh, no.
Thank you for looking after her, Ramsey. His voice is Eastern European. Gosh dang it, now I gotta look that up. You hold on a second. Old country accent. Okay, I get it. I know now. Okay, okay. Go back, please. Thank you for looking after her, Ramsey. That good? His voice is heavy with an Eastern European accent you aren't familiar with as he speaks. The butler, Ramsey, steps back with a bow. It seems he isn't part of this conversation. Ramsey, help! Ramsey, help! The dead man is relaxed as he sits in his coffin, his hair flowing down behind him over his back. Blooms catch in it, falling back down into the coffin lining only when he moves. He's got roses cascading off his long silken hair? Come on now, guy! You feel absolutely paralyzed by his unnatural gaze. Good evening, Espoir. I trust you are well rested. I knew you would sleep heavily when I brought you, but I did not expect you would slumber until my rest ended as well. Perhaps I was too heavy-handed with your preparations. Oh, I see. So you probably, spirited me away from my house. I'm flattered. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. His voice is cheerful, almost teasing, as though this is something you should understand and be in on. Of course, when you got spirited away from your house by a vampire. What are you talking about? Who are you? Yes, we should begin with that, shouldn't we? He looks so entertained with your demanding tone. I am Lord Nikolai Athanasia. Nikolai, you are Miss Espoir, and you are here in my manor. Since you are my guest, I will allow you to simply call me Nikolai. He grins, the sharp fangs behind his gentle smile on full display. A vampire. You're just now assuming that, Espoir? Dead man gets out of a coffin, you don't instantly think vampire? A real, undead, no doubt blood-sucking Dracula. And an old one, probably. You stare at him, wide-eyed. If you could will your legs to move, you would be running away. Would you? I wouldn't. But it's almost like you're being held in place by his stare. Do not look so distressed, dear Espoir. I have done nothing to harm you. You were provided a nice bed, yes, and clothing. Even Ramsey's care. Is that what he would call it? You're forgetting the whole kidnapping part. I didn't check into a bed and breakfast. I woke up here, against my will. You can't tell if he's impressed with your brazenness to question him, or if he's waiting to see if you have more to say. You are in such a rush, but it is to be expected for a mortal. Always concerned with time. That's cute. You are thirsty after such a long sleep, are you not? Ramsey, have some tea brought to the study for our guest. We will go there to talk. I like Nikolai. He seems like a cool guy, until he, rips out my throat or something. You don't have much room to argue that idea. Even if you think you could outrun the butler, this thing is completely unnatural. If you could keep your feet planted there like that, you could probably do other supernatural acts against you. For now, you cooperate. I don't know about you, Game Espoir, but I'm loving this whole situation. This is all right. You can leave me here. I'm good. You're all settled in as Ramsey steps very briefly out of the room and returns with a full tea set on a serving tray. You wonder if he's some sort of magical being as well, or if there are other servants running around who aren't making themselves known to you. The vampire is still staring at you, though his eyes have lost that uncanny red glow from before. Or maybe he's just looking in your direction. After a time, you realize he doesn't do a lot of blinking. Creepy. Your tea, Miss Espoir. Thanks, Mr. Ramsey. He gives you a strange look as he pulls away from you to stand at Nikolai's side of the room. Maybe that wasn't the correct way to address a butler? Or maybe he just doesn't like you? That is a strong possibility. Ramsey, let's be friends. Let's just all be friends. Please? Is it to your liking, Espoir? I cannot indulge in the same food as mortals anymore, but drinks seem to still agree with me, so I have plenty of tea and coffee and wine on hand. It's nice. It's nice. I like tea. The tea is nice, thank you. It is actually pretty good, but more than that, you feel you should probably try to be polite with these guys. At least, until the vampire isn't right there in the same room with you. The vampire? How rude. That is your host. Wonderful. Earl Grey is always popular with guests. Though we do also have some homegrown tea blends from the plants in the greenhouse as well. I thought, given your living situation, you would prefer something more familiar to you, so this is store-bought. Is this vampire dragging you for not living in a mansion like him? I mean, that's fair. You feel put down in a very specific way. Is be peasanted a word yet? Bepeasanted. No, I'm sure that you have many questions for me. You can start wherever you like. How did you know my name? You and the butler both called me by name earlier. How did you know my name? It wasn't difficult to find. Your address, yes? I left that to Ramsey. I'm not very proficient with, computing. Ramsey gives a small nod to confirm this. Ramsey is all like, when I told him to press the space bar, he looked upwards. But I knew just where to find your preferred name once I was there. There? Most likely meaning your home. He produces a little piece of plastic, and you stare at it. My Gothic literary card membership card? My Gothic Literary Club membership card? Oh, the thing I filled out in the beginning. Oh. Yes, I am a member as well. Oh, that's so cute! Nikolai, I love him. I smooch him. I love Nikolai. He is great. I love him. Though I cannot attend events, obviously, but I do enjoy seeing the recommendations and opinions of others. You're quite active on the website. Oh, it's on a website. It is? Cute. You targeted me because we used the same book club forum? Your tone betrays how absurd you find this idea, but his smile never falters. Of course, it gives me a certain impression of your personality, so I knew you were a good choice. You're reeling from this revelation, so you decide to just move on. Why did you bring me here? These are all very good questions. Come now, Espoir. I know you are not that naive. Yes, I am. Oh, you don't like that answer at all. You want me for marriage? My company? Why are you looking over at your butler like that? Nikolai's like, you heard of this foolish woman. Her company. Your company? He regards your curiosity with his easygoing smile, waiting for you to elaborate. Yeah, I'm a guest, right? So you brought me here to spend some time with you? Maybe you want to know more about the outside world, or talk about books, or things like that? It is a good guess, my mortal friend. Indeed, I do intend to enjoy our time together. I'm happy that you are so eager to entertain me. That's not exactly how you put it, but you aren't about to correct him. How did you bring me here? Hold on a second. Hold on. You hold on a second. You hold on a second. You want me for my body? Is that it? No. Why are you surprised? Why are you booing me? I'm right. You want my hot bod and my luscious gams. For a moment, the old vampire looks surprised, maybe even flustered to a certain degree. Ramsey looks particularly scandalized. How dare... Ow, I bit my lip. Ouch. How dare you accuse Master Nikolai of such lascivious plotting? The very idea is a product of your own lecherous thoughts. He's not wrong. I had lecherous thoughts as soon as Nikolai appeared on screen. No, Ramsey, I can speak for myself. Nikolai recovers quickly, but it's clear he wasn't expecting that answer. Ah, not to offend, Espoir. I find you quite lovely, but that never crossed my mind. I'm not a man of many carnal pleasures to begin with. An oddity, I'm sure. But even in the rare event I should feel such an inclination, I certainly wouldn't need to kidnap someone. You consider the various vampire romance novels you've come across over the years. Oh, you mean the ones I have in my collection? You're skeptical, but he seems pretty firm about his points, so you drop it. Hold on, I want to see the other choices too. Ha ha! That was hilarious. My blood? Ah, yes, your blood. What, Ramsey? You're not gonna react on that? Ramsey. Ramsey. Ramsey! I knew you weren't going to play dumb with me, even if the truth can be ugly at times. But we are kindred in a way. I knew from your taste in stories. You don't shy away from the dark, do you, Miss Espoir? He looks very pleased, considering he just admitted to planning on drinking your blood. I mean, I don't mind. It's like going to a blood bank, as long as you don't, take all of it. But he has a point. Why pretend that you expect anything else? He's a vampire. I think that's rude to assume. I guess not, though I'd really like for you to not do that. I will take your opinion into consideration. Still nothing, Ramsey? You're not gonna add anything? You're not gonna defend me in any way? Fine. You're pretty sure he's just saying that. Okay, how did you bring me here? How did you even get me here? I don't remember a thing. Ah, yes, you wouldn't. It was very late at night when I arrived. I do believe mortals are meant to get to bed much earlier than you do, by the way. I was surprised to see that you were still up at that hour. Oh, you mean recording videos at 3 a.m.? You keep quiet, but you don't appreciate getting this advice from him. Since I couldn't enter your home without being invited in, I simply, knocked. I don't think I would have opened the door for somebody if it was so late. No, you're right. You peered at me through the window. So shy. But you met my gaze, and I enthralled you. Enthralled? Like hypnotism? Yes. I made you unlock the door and come outside, and then I put you to sleep. And I carried you home. Like a little baby in carriage. So you just walked through the streets with my unconscious body and nobody stopped you? Sounds about right. Don't be silly, Espoir. I turned into a bat and flew you home with me. Thank you for the visual. That's a strong bat. Jeez. I mean, he could grip it by the back of my shirt, but still, a 5-ounce bat cannot carry a 158-pound human. You're having trouble picturing this. You're pretty sure what you're imagining isn't what he means. Isn't it? Unless he's a really old vampire, which means he can turn into a really big bat. You decide questioning him more on this is just going to stress you out more. Hopefully someone saw what happened to you and called somebody. You don't know who they could call, though. The police? The FBI? Van Helsing? If there is nothing else you'd like to know, I will explain to you our plans for the night. You will spend the duration of the night here with me. I am the host, so I will decide what we do, but I do hope you will put some effort into entertaining me as well. I chose you based on how I know of your taste, after all. My hope is you will be pleasant company. And at the end of the night, I will finally take from you that which sustains me. Your vitalis. Vitalis. The blood. Not an ideal outcome. Vampires have something akin to venom, you know? It makes the experience very pleasant. I wouldn't waste it on someone I had to attack to feed on, but of course I want my guests to be comfortable. So you may look forward to an experience few ever get to have. What do you say, Espoir? Are you looking forward to our night together? Yes. Too eager. It's like he thinks he's doing you a favor by murdering you in a less awful way than most violent deaths. I mean, you don't gotta take all my blood. It grows back. Just have some restraint, dude. You need to figure out some way out of this. Your fingers curl around the edges of your suit jacket as you try not to show your anxiety, considering what to tell Nikolai. Sure. I'll be your guest. Alright, let's do it. I'm honored to be your guest for the night, Nikolai. You grade out the words despite clearly not wanting to say it. Nikolai doesn't appear to mind that you're forcing yourself to be pleasant towards him, as long as you're being pleasant. He doesn't care about the particulars. Very good. I knew that you would see reason. Now, since you are prepared for the night ahead, I know just the thing to kick off our revelry with some excitement. But not in here. The study is no place for such rowdy activity.
Rowdy activity? No, I want calmness. I'm not good at rowdy.
You may bring your drink along. Come with me. You too, Ramsey. We will be in need of your assistance for this. At once, sir. The three of you head out of the study, and more than ever, you wonder if you've made the right choice. Perhaps it would have been wise to suggest something that didn't put you in the vampire's presence for the whole night, but it's too late to change your mind. All you can do is play along with his whims while you search for a good opportunity to escape. And try to stay on his good side, so that you don't die before the night is even over.
Are we going to do some tango?
Here we are. This is much more suitable. Tell me, Espoir, are you at all familiar with swords?
Uh-oh. Swords? Isn't this a ballroom? Like for dancing?
Also, isn't it completely ridiculous for this man to have an entire ballroom in this house? Who needs this?
Well, of course he needs this. He's a vampire. All vampires need ballrooms.
Very astute, Espoir. Yes, this is indeed a ballroom. I have hosted many grand parties here in the past for my friends, though it languishes in recent years without people to feel it. Why let it go to waste? I have found the good deal of room that it provides is perfect for a little swordplay with the staff.
Ah! Wait, what?
But I do still dance here from time to time. The sabers also come in handy for that. Perhaps if I were in more of a dancing mood, I would demonstrate for you. But no, not tonight. I'm feeling wistful. It will only remind me of the companion who taught me the sword dances of his home so many years ago. I would rather you dance with the swords for me. With Ramsey, of course.
Oh, okay.
I cannot watch if I am participating after all.
Hold on. I didn't say I knew anything about swords. I definitely don't know how to sword dance.
Ah, of course you don't. I didn't mean for you to dance for me in the literal sense.
Phew. Then what do you mean?
No, you would slit your own throat if you tried to spin sabers the way I do. I will not eat from the floor like a dog. Obviously, I meant you will spar with Ramsey. I'm sure he will go easy on you since you are a beginner.
Is that the face of a man planning on going easy on me? Ramsey, please. I just want to be friends, Ramsey. We have the same mole. Come on. Ha! You heard what Nikolai said, right, Ramsey? About not wanting my blood spilled all over the floor?
Obviously. We're sparring, Miss Espoir, not actually fighting. Should I land a blow, I will be entirely careful to simply welt you with the flat side of the saber.
Gee, thanks. That still sounds unpleasant, but it's better than being a Butler kebab. Hey, it's gonna look cool. We're wearing matching suits.
I expect the same courtesy, of course.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. I'm not going to try to really hurt you.
You know, in matters of combat, often amateurs are more dangerous than the expertly trained.
That is true.
They're far more likely to lack control and use more force than necessary, or make mistakes that land in a way they didn't intend. But I accept your reassurance. I'm sure that any injuries given will be purely accidental. Yes, I'm sure Espoir is sufficiently prepared. Fetch the sabers, Ramsey. Yes, Master Nikolai, at once. Don't be too intimidated, dear Espoir. You need only observe your opponent and respond appropriately. Every move has an appropriate defense.
Are you going to tell me what those are? Nikolai's advice isn't the most clear, but it seems he's at least being genuine. I like this music. The two of you position yourselves opposite each other. Nikolai stands out of the way to watch. You can tell Ramsey is feeling competitive. Ramsey's eyes flick to the side of you, and then back to lock with yours. Ah! You adjust your footing and prepare to dodge his attack. Ramsey moves to attack, and you quickly step to one side to dodge him. Was that correct? He pivots just as quickly with a leap to one side, and quickly strikes you. You can see in the satisfaction of his face that you did exactly what he'd hoped you'd do. Oh, okay, he's gonna give me a signal. Espoir, I know you are not that naive. Yes, I am. Let me just save right here, just in case. You can tell that Ramsey is liking his odds of winning this one. He eyes you up like he's deciding the best spot on you to next target. Ramsey! Ramsey! This is not a competition! Feeling tired already? I've got to at least get you back once before I'm done. Ha! A good attitude to have. Ramsey's eyes flick to the side of you, and then back to lock with yours. What does this mean? You're looking rather exhausted, Miss Espoir. Perhaps after this round you should call it quits, for your health. That's easy for him to say. You haven't gotten him back even once yet. What, am I supposed to be hitting him? Are we actually fighting, or I thought we were just entertaining this dude? Oh, okay, fine. You can see Ramsey's whole body seem to tense. The arm holding his sword is tightly flexed. I think that would be a counterattack. You decide to attempt to counterattack. The momentum of Ramsey's attack makes it difficult for him to quickly change direction. You bring up your sword and swiftly whack the flat side of your saber against his ribs before he can fully execute his swing. He looks taken aback and quickly steps back to his original position. Did I get him? Did I win? All right, Ramsey. That's quite enough. You've made your point to Espoir. Quite literally. Point. Was the old bat making a pun when he said that? He probably was. Of course, my lord. I hope that our performance was entertaining enough for you. Of course, though I did worry for Espoir for a moment. I'm all right, just sore. I'm sure Ramsey is too. Come on, Ramsey, we don't have to be rivals just because we're wearing the same outfit. Is that so? Do tell me if she is right, Ramsey. I'm fine, and she is lucky. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. I'm sure that she did whatever came to mind without putting any thought to it. I put a lot of thought into it, sir. Thank you very much. Why are you being so salty? Hey, I put plenty of thought into it. Yeah. I can't be right every time, but I still tried. Sure. What? What was that? We got a score to keep now? Well, it makes me happy that you are putting in an earnest effort regardless, Espoir. From our talk earlier, I had my worries that you would try to give me the cold shoulder for the night and not participate in anything. I would have gotten my dinner, but so what? I would just drink from one of the maids if I didn't care to have entertaining company as well. Those poor maids. You wonder if that's how he usually gets his food, if he doesn't bother kidnapping a stranger he takes an interest in. You also can't help but think that if this night goes too well for him, that he might decide to pick up another dinner guest from the book club when you're dead and gone. You really hope that's not the case. Yeah, of course. Well, it's not every day I get a chance to try sword fighting. Exactly. You'll know just how I feel, Espoir. Life is usually so wasted on the living. I want to spend an unlife enjoying new experiences. Even here at home, it can be done with the right guest. Not that I care to forget the past entirely. In fact, I know just what we should do next. Come along, Espoir. With that, the vampire strolls right out of the room without another word to you or the butler. Ramsey! Come on now! You can see Ramsey is still looking a little sore with you as he gathers up the other sword and turns to go put them back where he got them. We can be friends, Ramsey.
You decide it would be best to just leave him alone and do as Nikolai says. Leaving the ballroom behind, you head out into the hallway, hoping Nikolai's long gait hasn't left you behind to be lost in the manor. Oh! That was so much fun! I love that! You've reached the end of the demo! Yippee! You've managed to survive until the end of the demo. Did you collect all 4 deaths? Deaths? Oh no! Consider giving it another look to see what you might have missed. Follow Karmic Punishment on itch.io or other social media to be alerted when the full game comes out. As always, there will be a link in the description to this game, but I'm going to try to get myself killed. Also, is that other bottle, Ramsey's jar? Can we be friends with Ramsey? I want to be friends with Ramsey. So going all the way back, what if I said I would be more useful alive? This manor is huge, Nikolai. It probably takes a lot of servants to keep it so pristine, doesn't it? Yes, of course. My home is my pride. It requires much upkeep. I'm already dressed as a butler. Please, hire me. Hire you? Yes, I'm not ready to die, but, you've already shown how much nicer it is here than my home. Not that it matters when there's a vampire living in it. I mean, I'd say that's a plus, espoir. I want to stay here, and I want to serve you. Doubtful. Ramsey, come on. You would say anything to save your own skin, wouldn't you? Deplorable. Do not try to exploit Master Nikolai this way. You would be useless as a servant. I can clean twice as fast as you, Ramsey, especially if I'm stressed out. Harsh. How would you know? You haven't seen me work yet. My, Ramsey has a strong opinion on this matter to speak out of turn this way. Master, my apologies. I was offended that she would make such a ridiculous request of you. It was not my place. It is all right, Ramsey. It is nice to see you taking such an interest in dear Espoir's work ethic. After all, she would be under your care if we were to take her up on her offer. Hear that, Ramsey? We're gonna be friends. Why do you think she is lying about wanting to work for me? Is it not clear in her eyes? It's obvious that she is asking out of fear. Ha, I do agree. I can hear her heart beating quite heavily. That's not why it's beating. But not everyone can be such a dedicated devotee like you right away. It takes time. I think we should give her a chance. If that is what you think is best, my lord. Good. So you agree then. You'll be looking after her and showing her how to complete her work. Even if her new position as footman is beneath you, I think you could set a good example for her. And it will teach her where everything is, yes? It wouldn't do for her to become lost within the manor. Yes, Master Nikolai, of course. Ramsey agrees. You can see a certain conflicting set of emotions crossing his expression. Ramsey, be my friend! What do I need to do to make you happy? A desire to agree with Nikolai, but also a seething resentment toward you, you assume. I will do everything in my power to ensure she perform adequately. And I will report to you should she step out of line. Wonderful. That is taken care of then. If you show yourself to be capable of work, Espoir, you will live. I will simply drink from both of you. Wait, what? That doesn't sound cool. I will simply drink from both you and Ramsey. In that case, I'll still be sated, but you will only lose about half of your blood. You know, that could probably solve your problem if you brought 2 people here, Nikolai. If you brought 2 people here, then you wouldn't have to kill anybody. Or, if people knew there was a hot vampire living here, there'd be people lined up to get bit. That is acceptable to you, yes? As if there's any other choice but to agree. Even the butler seems to know that. Yes, Nikolai. You better put a my lord on that, Espoir.
You aren't a guest anymore, Espoir, so please call me Master Nikolai, or Master Athanasia, or Lord Athanasia. You have your pick. Now you're not so sure about this idea. It looks like he has very swiftly demoted your status in his mind. I'll leave you two to your duties then. I suppose I can entertain myself well enough for the night. Perhaps I'll visit the music room. The vampire leaves. You found yourself alone with Ramsey. Oh, we're in all new territory now. For some reason, you don't feel any safer than when Nikolai was here too. You find yourself in the kitchen with Ramsey now that you've been dismissed from Nikolai's presence. While certain things look a little old-fashioned, it's actually a pretty well-outfitted area. It contains some vintage tools, but also larger-scale equipment you would expect to find in a place that cooks for many people at a time. Ramsey doesn't seem to be paying much attention to you. He's putting up some dishes and cooking utensils on the counter. Where's the option to beg Ramsey to be your friend? Ask about the well-stocked kitchen. Yeah, why is there so much stuff if he can't eat? So, Ramsey? What's with all the stuff in here? If Nikolai doesn't eat, why do you keep so much food? We have a sizable staff here, Miss Espoir, and none of them are vampires. So, regardless of the master of the household, the rest of us do in fact need to eat. Much of the staff is only awake during the day, since their duties are more in regards to maintenance of the home or grounds. So you're what could be considered the night shift, then? More or less. Since our house steward is part of the day shift, as you may wish to call it, at night I am in charge of the household. Oh, so you're not the actual boss here, then? Geez, that look could kill. I'm sorry, dude. At night I am. And even if I were the cook or the gardener, I would still be above you in authority, so don't get any ideas. All right, jeez. Ask Ramsey about himself. So, Ramsey? I was just wondering, you look kind of familiar. Have we met somewhere before? I assure you, we have never met before tonight. So banish the thought. I don't take part in your book club either, before you suggest that. Huh, that's kind of a strong reaction to a basic yes or no question. You don't think he's lying. You're pretty sure you'd remember a face like that if you had met him in person before. But maybe he's still hiding something. He might have an idea of why he looks familiar to you and doesn't want to admit it. Yeah, I guess that's going to be some late-game stuff, but still reveal your secrets, Ramsey! Okay, if you say so, Ramsey. I do say so. But even so, since we're going to be working together, I feel like I should know a little more about you. I don't see why you would need to know anything of the sort. Sheesh, how about knowing why you have such a stick up your butt? I haven't done anything yet. Okay then, I want to know more about you. Fine, I will give you one question. Then let me work. Well, you see, the thing is, Ramsey, I have a save button. What do you do for fun? What do you consider fun, my adorable little butler friend? Eee! For fun. He gives his answers some thought. I do have my hobbies, but I don't know if I would consider many of them to be the sort of thing you're thinking of. I do enjoy reading, though. And every evening when I get up, I go for a run around the grounds before it's time to begin work. So he's sporty despite his job being mainly within the house. That is kind of bad news for you in terms of the idea of outrunning him. Okay, that's good to know. Aside from that, I do enjoy my coffee, so sometimes I'll make special drinks for the other nighttime servants. As you can imagine, staying up all night can be taxing for some. Your eyes linger on the dark circles of his eyes, and he soon notices. I also enjoy cooking, which I should be doing right now, so I hope that answer was enough to sate your curiosity. Oh, right. Okay then. Why do you have horns? It's a little skull. Cute. I can decrease my thing. Oh no. Why do you have horns? Are you some sort of imp or something? They're adorable. I don't have horns, you wretched little clown. I like that title. Espoir du vide, wretched little clown. Oh, sorry. I thought they're just cowlicks. Darnation, I can never get my hair under control. If it isn't one thing, it's another. Oops, looks like he's a little sensitive about that. Your question is answered. I'm going back to what I was doing. Do you like your job? It has to be kind of unusual serving a vampire, right? To be honest, I'm too accustomed to it to know the difference. I've never served a mortal master. I was asked by my old employer to come and serve Master Nikolai when his previous butler passed away, or was eaten. Do you think he... The man was at least 80. Master Nikolai had nothing to do with it. Okay. You see, there is no more stable work to be found than for vampires. Many families serve them for generations. My mother has served Lord Fontaine for some time, and when he offered to pay for my education to prepare to serve him as well, I accepted. Your education? To be trained as a butler, of course, but I did apprentice as a sommelier?
Sommelier.
What is a sommelier? As well. Had I decided that I didn't want to be a butler, I would have had a promising career in wine to turn to as a backup plan. You see, our relationship with the vampires is symbiotic, for a vampire depends dearly on his servants to keep him living comfortably in an ever-changing world. Such as using the computer for him so he doesn't have to learn to do it by himself. Exactly. You got me prattling on about work. I answered your question. Now let me cook. Let him cook! Ask what Ramsey is cooking. What are you cooking? Well, I need to familiarize you with the kitchen. And you were asleep for quite some time, so you need something to eat if you're going to be of any use tonight. Now that he mentions it, you really are hungry. You didn't even get to enjoy your drink earlier, so your stomach is completely empty. So you will watch me cook, and I will make you some chicken... Chassoir. Cassoir.
Chaucer.
He's gonna make me some fancy chicken. For dinner. Chicken what? It is a French dish. It is mushroom and chicken served in a tomato and white wine sauce. Aww. Oh. Sounds good. Sounds good. I can't wait to try it. I'm glad to hear it. All you need to do is watch. That way you'll know where everything is in the kitchen when you need to make food for yourself. Right. He was already going around and grabbing things before. Maybe you should have paid attention. Or maybe he should have told you that was the point of this instead of just icing you out while you awkwardly waited for him to do something. It looks like he probably has it handled, but you don't exactly have much to do. I would like to help. Is there anything I could do to help, Ramsey? Oh. Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to let you do something other than take care of the dishes. Oh, so he was already planning on leaving that to you. That's fine. I love doing dishes. All right, you can cut the mushrooms. Slice them to your preference. To your surprise, he passes you the knife. You glance down at it. It really is rather big. Stab him? No! No. I don't want to do that. Why is that choice there? No. I'm upset because I'm going to have to try it anyway. Fine. I'm chopping the mushrooms now. I want him to be my friend. Yeah, and if I try to stab him, I don't think that's not gonna go very well. You've already seen the butler in action. You're pretty sure he'd kick your butt if you try to raise the knife to him. So you obediently move to the cutting board to resume cutting the mushrooms while he sets out preparing the tomatoes. It's kind of funny.
He's so stern and unpleasant with you for the most part, but now that he's cooking with you, it's like you have a truce going for the moment. He's polite, and as the food starts to simmer, you find yourself eager to taste it. You're starving. Soon enough, the seasonings and the wine sauce smell irresistible, and Ramsey is serving you a plate. You sit at the table, and he watches you for your reaction to the food. The fragrance of the food has your mouth watering. You eagerly dig in. Whether it's because you're starving or because of his own skill in the kitchen, it's absolutely delicious.
Ramsey, this is amazing.
You're too complimentary. I made it because it was something quick.
Are you blushing a little? But it's really good, and a lot fancier than what I usually have.
Yes, Master Nikolai made note of your copious amounts of instant ramen wrappers.
Hey, shut up. Those are soy sauce flavored, and they're delicious.
They're cheap, and they taste good. That's understandable, but I hope you take your job seriously here so that you won't have to resort to them anymore.
You mean so I can eat your cooking all the time?
Ah. Of course not. You'll have to cook for yourself eventually. But the pay is good.
You guys get paid?
You hadn't really thought about him getting paid for his work, but it seems obvious now. You wonder how much a butler makes.
Yeah, how much? Go on Indeed and see how much a butlering a vampire gets paid.
Actually, that sounds like a good idea.
Does LinkedIn have places for becoming a vampire's butler?
Well, even if I do, I'll still want to eat ramen sometimes. I suppose taste has no effect on what one finds comforting. You gladly eat the French dish, while Ramsey brings you some tea to have with it. It's nice to have a little downtime in this crazy night. Still, even with so much on your mind, you feel the need to bring up what you noticed about him. That familiarity. The fact that you think you might know where you've seen his face before.
Oh, mention the devil horn killer?
So, Ramsey, have you ever heard of the devil horn killer? Why do you ask, Espoir? Well, I watch true crimes from time to time, and I was reminded of a particular case that popped up a lot when it happened. I guess I was thinking about it when you were using the kitchen knife. Because it was a really mysterious case about a serial killer with hair that looked like devil horns.
Oh, he's cute.
It was said he was found moving a blood-stained rug and a few other things that were connected to some missing persons cases. But he never spoke a word, so nobody ever found out his real name or what he was doing. And the victims had no connection to each other. They were from all over the place, and their bodies were never found. Eventually, he was found guilty of at least the murder of the person whose blood was on the rug, since it was determined that there was no way for them to still be alive if they lost that much blood. So he went to prison with hardly anything answered about the things he was caught with or the people who were still missing. And one day he vanished. Apparently, he escaped from prison and nobody knows how. Just another mystery on top of everything else. And it has been a while since I watched anything about that case.
But you look exactly like him.
I would like to stop you right there and clarify that I am not a serial killer.
No, but you could be the same guy. I mean, that guy could not be a killer. He could have been framed.
I'm not even a regular killer. Those were the belongings of some of those whom Master Nikolai fed from. Apparently, things went horribly awry in an instance in which he was allowed into the home. And since it was a bloodbath, and Master Nikolai's blood had also been spilled, we had no choice but to clean up for him. I was in charge of disposing of the carpet, and I decided, since I was at it, I would get rid of some of the things I hadn't been able to clean from past feedings. Just my luck that I would get pulled over. And I couldn't call home for help, obviously. It would connect the matter to the mess I was meant to be cleaning up. So, You just let yourself be charged with a crime you didn't commit? The coverage said you wouldn't even talk to the public defender. Of course, I'm completely loyal to Master Nikolai. Loyal is one thing, but that is pretty overboard. You don't know the timeline of events, but you do know the process he would have been put through from arrest to court to prison wouldn't have been a brief one. So, how did you manage to escape? Eventually, Master Nikolai was able to find me. I'm sure somebody saw the news and let him know where to go. Or at least, where I was most likely sent. So he retrieved me, and that was that. And by retrieved, you mean... He turned into a bat and picked me up from within the prison courtyard. We're both rather lucky that we didn't take any bullets. Again, with the bat thing.
A 5-ounce bird could not carry a 1-pound coconut. Well, it doesn't matter.
I need to stop quoting Monty Python. I'm showing my age. You don't even want to begin to imagine the pandemonium in that prison when that happened. Now that you seem to have finished eating, let's clean the dishes, and then you can assist me with your first task. Eager to end discussion of his crimes, Ramsey whisks away your dishes. You suppose he still expects you to help with that. Reluctantly, you get up to join him. You're still not sure you entirely believe his story, though. It's easy to blame the vampire for any deaths here. Oh, that seems likely. Yes, you think you'll assume from now on that Ramsey's temper is something you'll want to watch.
Oh, so we can be friends with either of them. Yay!
I had to try. I had to see what happens if you press stab him. You're not usually so ruthless, but you know there's a good chance you'll die if you don't escape this place. It's only the two of you here in the kitchen. The vampire is presumably far off in another room, and you have yet to hear another servant anywhere around. This may be your best chance.
No!
No! No! You quickly step forward to bring the knife up and into Ramsey's belly.
No!
Oh, thank goodness. I would rather you pummel me than you let me stab you. His hand catches your wrist. Really? You're so cocky that you would immediately try this with me? You try to pull your hand free. Oh, he's probably gripping my wrist so tightly. Hey! I understand. I fully understand. I deserve that. You find yourself seeing stars as you get knocked back by a blow to the face. I deserve that. I deserve that. Ramsey has easily taken the knife back from you. Yeah. He strikes you again, hard across the face. Listen to me, you arrogant wretch. He casually sets the knife back down on the counter. You misunderstand your position with me. You're here by the grace of Master Nikolai's wishes. If you try that again, I won't hesitate to end you, and simply collect your blood for the Master myself. You will show me respect, you will know your place, and you will be grateful to Master Nikolai for the life he has given you, because he has put it in my hands. Now, apologize, and plead that I forgive you. Gosh darn it, there's more? I was hoping this would be over. I guess I gotta try out those death routes.
I'm sorry.
For now. I'm sorry, Ramsey. Please forgive me. That's hardly what I call heartfelt. Well, I don't know. You did punch me in the face, so it might be kind of hard for me to, comprehend stuff. But I suppose it will do. Now go sit over there while I cook. It's embarrassing to be so put in your place by him, but at least he didn't stab you for trying to attack him. But you'll have to be on guard if you want to find another opportunity to escape. All you can do is sit aside quietly while he cooks. Both he and the wine sauce need some time to simmer down. Your stomach growls, and you're reminded again of your hunger. Shamefully, you're grateful he decided to cook for you despite what you did. When the food is finally done, he brings it to a table, off to the side, and beckons you over. Ramsey stands watch to make sure you actually eat the food. If you hadn't watched him cook it, you would be worried it was poisoned. Your mouth hurts as you open... Ow! Well, I mean, he taught me a lesson. Your mouth hurts as you open it and try your first bite. His first punch had hit your eye, and the other the side of your face. You can tell there's some swelling starting up. You try to ignore the feeling while you eat. It tastes good, but you can taste the underlying flavors of copper behind the seasonings. You glance across at him. He's checking his pocket watch. At least he isn't expecting you to compliment his cooking after what happened. Still, even with so much on your mind, you feel you need to bring up what you noticed about him. All right. That was playing nice with him now. Oh, he's not gonna like that. What if I spit upon him? A little bit of spittle upon him. You aren't going to apologize when all you're trying to do is escape with your life. The arrogance it takes to demand that of you just makes you that much angrier with him. We're gonna throw hands, Ramsey, and I think I'm gonna lose. I will be the one getting hands for Christmas. You spit on the butler's face. You should be apologizing to me. All I want is to go home, to get out of this crazy place. So, I was right. You don't want to be a servant? Of course I don't want that. In that case, you're fired. Ah! Okay. I deserve that. Okay. I mean, not the whole trying to escape with my life, but I probably shouldn't have lunged at you with a knife. That was rude of me. That was my bad. I understand. You look down at the knife buried in your stomach. Ow. But understandable. You don't even feel anything at first, but it's clear after a moment that that's just the shock. You're left on the floor as Ramsey idly proceeds to walk around your limp body to gather utensils. To collect your blood for the vampire, you suppose. Mercifully, you pass out before he starts the process. Death. Quitting without notice. Okay, what if the knife? What are we going to do with the knife? The knife is right there, right behind him. All you have to do is reach it. It's so close. I have a feeling that knife is... You throw yourself at him, shoving him back against the counter so you can get your hands on the knife. As your fingers wrap around it, he grabs onto you, turning and dragging you around to his other side. You already have it, so you slash at him with it. Oh no! Ugh. Oh no! Hey, now you got another matching scar. He grabs your arm near the elbow and suddenly shoves you back. He forces your arm down against the counter behind you. Uh-oh. What's that sizzling sound? Not the counter. Oh no! He's holding the back of your hand, an arm down on the hot stove eye he had been about to cook with. Oh, this is even worse! You involuntarily let go of the knife, and it clatters on the stovetop while you thrash under Ramsey's hold. Your cotton glove is alight, and your bare skin is held tight to the hot metal. Let me up! Your voice cracks as you shout the words. Oh dear, oh no! He lets go of your arm, only so he can grab the knife. You should have taken your second chance when I offered it to you, Espoir. Blah! Ouch! You know this is it. You've botched your chance. And while it's painful, you're disoriented by the time everything starts to go dark. As you slip away, the only thought you have left crosses your mind between the impacts of the knife and the smell of your own burnt flesh. You wish you had let him make you dinner first. Chef Ramsey's Hex Kitchen. Nice. Oh yeah, I didn't choose the options about his food. About, like, hey, I'm going to make you this French dish and you're going to eat it. Sounds bad. Sounds gross. Don't you have anything else? I'm not going to fight with you like you're a toddler who won't eat her vegetables. It's what I'm cooking. Eat it or starve. He's so inflexible. I would have been fine with some macaroni and cheese. It's not like you asked him for a special dinner. All you need to do is watch. That way you'll know where everything is in the kitchen when you need to make food for yourself. I don't eat meat, actually. I'll be making you some eggplant.
Chaucer.
Oh, wow, you didn't actually expect him to accommodate you. Looks like he at least will listen to you about a dietary restriction. Maybe if there are as many people living here as he claims, he's used to having to make special considerations for the night staff. What if I stay out of the way instead of trying to help? You decide to just keep away from him for the moment, since he seems to be in a bad mood. Or he dislikes you. Or he has pulled so many sour faces that his face is stuck like that now. I want to see you smile, Ramsey. I want to be your friend. Oh yeah, all the way in the beginning. What if I, well, first I said, where am I? I didn't say, what am I doing here? Are you the one who brought me here? Your voice is scratchy, your throat dry. No, the master of the household is the one who brought you here. And he will surely explain to you himself in due time, once you are properly dressed. For a moment, you feel offended that he has dismissed your very serious current situation to criticize you for being in your pajamas. You've been kidnapped, and that's all this snob cares about? Why are you over there, Ramsey? I don't even know how I got here, so it's not like I had time to get dressed. Yes, quite understandable. I wouldn't expect him to waste time gathering your things. I've prepared some clothing for you. Mind you, what we have on hand is limited. You should be happy to have more than one option. What if I throw something at him? In quick response to seeing who you can only assume to be your kidnapper, you reach for the nearest hard object you can grab. Ah! A small vase with a flower on it sails across the room and breaks on his head, making him flinch away in shock. He straightens right back up after the initial surprise, still in the doorway, jaw set in a look of unrestrained anger. Eep! Maybe it wasn't the most effective projectile. You consider the candlestick on the mantel, but his voice interrupts your thoughts. The master of the household would like to see you, post-haste. Get dressed. His tone is flat as he unceremoniously drops the 2 folded garments he had been carrying into the dresser, and leaves the room. Well, that got rid of him. Break the window? Break it. Yeah, right. If this snooty rich guy thinks you'll do what he wants, he's in for a rude awakening. You're out of here. This is going to end in a death, isn't it? Isn't it? You pick up the candlestick and go to the window. That's a good sound. It made me jump. You throw the candlestick right through the tall glass panes. You're surprised at the huge shards that rain down into the room when you do. The window must have been fairly old to be made with such unsafe materials. You don't wander over it long, though. You're already stepping through out into the balcony, just within your reach. Oh, hex bells! What do you think you're doing? You hear the man re-enter the bedroom behind you, and he's quickly crossing the room. You look down from the railing you've climbed over. The nearest tree is far below you. We ain't making that, Espoir. We ain't making that. You're going to fall! The man is leaning out the window, reaching for you as he sees you leaning over the railing. You jump back away from him. See you later! Ah! Your rush sends you tumbling over the other side of the railing. You can't really turn around to see what has broken your fall, but you don't really need to when the end of it is now sticking out of your abdomen. The dainty decorative points of an old-fashioned wrought iron garden fence are sticking up through your body, slick with blood. Your body dangles uselessly on them, broken in the fall. Though you can't see him, you do hear the faraway sound of the man from before, cursing in frustration. At least you can take a little solace in knowing you ruined his night as your consciousness slips away. Death, careless disregard for safety. Yeah, pretty much. What if I say, got anything else? Don't you have anything else I could wear?
You want to wear something other than your pajamas, especially if it's as cold outside as it feels in this room. You plan on running, and you don't want to freeze before you find somewhere to go. Even so, the idea of wearing these servant's clothes in your captor's manor really rubs you the wrong way. The butler looks irritated by your question.
It is all that we have to spare. The master's clothing would certainly not fit you, nor would I allow you to touch it to begin with. What we do have is spare uniforms, so choose one.
Looks like these really are all you have to choose from. What's his reaction if I choose the maid uniform? Despite your initial misgivings about the maid uniform, it is at least modest, and it looks more comfortable than that stuffy butler getup. You pick up the maid uniform and look at the butler. He gathers the suit you didn't choose.
Very good. I will be just outside once you're ready.
He steps out of the room so you can get changed privately, much to your relief. Pretty. You regard yourself in the mirror once you're in the uniform. You feel elegant. You feel oddly elegant. Maybe it's the long sweep of the skirt or the stark monochrome of the fabrics. I mean, as much as I like that butler uniform, I would wear a maid's uniform in a heartbeat. Why don't I have a maid uniform in here? I would totally wear a maid uniform. Would you like to see me in a maid uniform? But like a modest one, not one of those creepy ones. You even put on the gloves. You're relieved to find the shoes didn't have an especially high heel. Maybe you could run in these if you have to. But it would be nice to make a nice quiet escape instead. Maybe when everyone else in the household is asleep. You step outside and find the butler waiting there for you. You even catch him checking his pocket watch, like he thinks you're taking too long. Oh, more choices I didn't try. What about coffee? That seems like, a good thing to ask, since it's probably the middle of the night. Actually, I'm not much of a tea drinker. Can I get some coffee instead?
Oh? Well, I suppose tea isn't the drink of choice anymore in some places.
Why are you looking at Ramsey? It's not his fault. He seems almost disappointed by your choice. He bounces right back from it, though.
Coffee is Ramsey's drink of choice as well.
Aw.
He drinks it so strongly that sometimes I believe I can hear his heart fluttering when he's near me.
Oh, okay, if I like his drink. Ramsey, let's be friends!
Shall I fetch a cup of the blend I make for the staff, then? Yes, with haste.
Oh, you're just gonna leave me alone with this guy? Ramsey leaves the room, his stride quick. You get the feeling that if the vampire asked him to do a flip, he'd do that as well.
Now, I'm sure that you have many questions for me. We can start wherever you like.
What if I ask him that one question that Ramsey intertwined with when Ramsey's not here? Alright, nothing happens when Ramsey isn't here. It's all the same. That is kind of cute that he doesn't interject. No, I understand.
You understand?
Yeah, you're a vampire. You're doing the vampire thing. Capturing a helpless victim and keeping them around until you're ready to drink all of their blood.
What a bitter tone on your lips, dear Espoir. You are quite the pessimist, aren't you? Perhaps you'll enjoy this night more than you expect. You aren't just a vessel from which to take my meal. You are a guest. So please, do keep the self-pity to a minimum. I would hate to cut our visit short.
Yikes. Noted. If you irritate him too much, Nikolai might decide to just drain you right away instead of whenever he actually planned for.
If there is nothing else you'd like to know, I will explain to you our plans for the night. You will spend the duration of the night here with me. Ah, Ramsey, you're back. Yes, your drink, Mrs. Spoir.
Oh, thank you. You carefully accept the warm glass on its little saucer. It's clear, showing you the layers of the cappuccino Ramsey prepared for you. There's even a sprinkle of cocoa powder across the top. Sorry, you didn't need to go all out like that. I'm sorry I stabbed you in a past playthrough. You take a drink, finding it tastes smooth and pleasant.
Nikolai wasn't lying when he said Ramsey liked his coffee, it seems. Maybe he wanted to impress you. Color me impressed. Nikolai, I'm about to ask you to tap Ramsey on the shoulder for me. Or maybe it's just how he takes his coffee. Hard to say. Let's see if I can get all the points with this. The butler is maintaining eye contact with you. He's focused on his fighting stance, it seems. Dodge? You adjust your footing and prepare to dodge his attack. He steps forward for his attack, the blade coming at you quickly. You swiftly sidestep him at the last second, and he turns to face you, ready to try again. It's easy to see that Ramsey wasn't expecting much of a fight, even if he's going easy on you like Nikolai claimed. You're quite the capable lady, Espoir. And here I thought you might accidentally cut your hand off or something. Even when you're winning, this guy just has to trash talk. Yeah, I'm going to try to win this. I'm going to actually pay attention and also save scum. The butler's maintaining eye contact with you. He's focused on his fighting stance. Does that mean dodge? You're rather smart with that sword, aren't you, Miss Espoir? Perhaps you should fight the master next. That would be amusing, wouldn't it? Nah, I wouldn't want to risk, messing up his nice cloak, or getting the blade tangled in his hair. Oh, she is right, Ramsey. You would need to braid it for me first. We don't have time for that, so please, carry on. At once, Master Nikolai. You can see Ramsey's whole body seem to tense. The arm holding his sword is tightly flexed. I think that means counterattack. You decide to attempt a counterattack. The momentum of Ramsey's attack makes it difficult for him to quickly change direction. You bring up your sword and swiftly whack the flat side of your saber against his ribs before he can fully execute his swing. He looks taken aback and quickly steps back to his original position. Did we beat him? Ha ha! Ha ha! Now be my friend! It takes Ramsey a moment to catch his breath, having been entirely focused on the fight up until now. You can see that losing so thoroughly to you has given him a slight attitude adjustment. In fact, he is looking at you entirely different now. And you've never handled a sword, you said before. Well, not a real one. The closest I've gotten is the one I've got at a swamp meet when I was a teenager. And all the convention swords I bought for $25 at anime conventions. And I definitely never swung it at anybody. I see. Ooh, I got some from him too. Let's all be friends. Oh, Espoir, you did wonderfully. I'm so impressed. You get the feeling that both of them are impressed, even if only one of them is voicing it. I almost wish I had spun sabers with you anyway. Clearly, you're quite good with them. I guess. I'm just good at reading stuff. I don't know about that. And Ramsey, that must have been quite difficult for you. I know you pride yourself on your swordsmanship. I am merely a fencer, Master Nikolai. I've learned more larger swords from you. I suppose I still need more practice. Oh yes, and you will get it on another night. For now, I have other plans. Come, Espoir, we will let Ramsey put away the swords and return to his duties. I have something else in mind for you. Come, come. The vampire strides back to the large doors at the entrance of the ballroom. You glance back at the butler. The master told you to follow him. I suggest you do. His tone isn't quite as sharp as it was before, but his advice is still sound. You don't want to ruin the good mood you've gotten Nikolai into. You hurry along after the vampire, wondering what else he has in store for you. That was so much fun! Ah, that's so much fun! Okay, so I tried it a little bit on my own to see if anything different would happen, and it does if I completely fludge, is that a word? If I completely fudge up this whole scene, if I intentionally do the wrong thing, so... The butler is maintaining eye contact with you. He's focused on his fighting stance, it seems. So with that, I think I would dodge, but I'm going to try to counterattack, because I think that's the wrong thing to do. As Ramsey takes his quick step forward to make his attack, you try to get your swing in first. As it turns out, the butler is pretty quick on his feet, as if he really is engaging you in a dance. He stops wide of your swipe, shoulder to shoulder with you, as he looks aside at you. That's pretty hot. And of course, he doesn't forget to give you a good whack while he's there, the smug butthead. You yelp as the side of his blade whips once against the back of your legs before he pulls away again. Stop being so cute! Stop! Stop making me love you! You can tell that Ramsey is liking the odds of winning this one. You can tell that Ramsey is liking his odds of winning this one. He eyes you up like he's deciding the best spot on you to next target. Feeling tired already? So he's gonna do a strong attack, so I should probably try to block that, which would be the wrong thing to do. Ramsey puts his strength into his attack. Even as you raise your blade to defend yourself, you get the feeling you've made a mistake. You're shocked by the amount of force behind it, and it knocks you back and the sword out of your hand. He smiles smugly as he waits patiently for you to retrieve your blade. As you recover from that last embarrassing defeat, all you can think about is how frustrated you are at being so easily slapped around by Ramsey. You hadn't even wanted to do this, and yet here you are, tired and aching from this one-sided fight. Ramsey regards you curiously as you get back up to your feet with the blade still in hand. Yeah, we're gonna revolutionary go this thing. And it's not gonna turn out very good. Oh, you still haven't had enough. You must admit her fighting style is admirable, even if her skills are lacking, Ramsey. If that is what you feel, Master Nikolai. Fine, one more round, but I suggest you stay down after this. You grip your saber tightly in hand. I'm just going to come right at you. No tricks, nothing special. Can you even trust that? You decide you'll just go for it. When he comes at you, you're just going to close your eyes and swing. Ah! You hear his steps come towards you. Ah! Whoops. Ramsey, look at what you've done. My lord, she just stepped forward into my thrust. Even if she had held still, it wouldn't have... You're having trouble following their conversation. It's like they're talking from the end of a long hall, despite being right in front of you. Or rather, standing over you. Should I call for someone to bring the bandages? No, it would be a waste of time. You got her right to the heart, Ramsey. Just pull it out. I'll deal with the rest. Pull it out? Ramsey looks reluctant at the idea, but nods. Yes, Master Nikolai. He reaches forward and puts his hands on the sword. Huh. You sort of expected... Ah! There's so much blood. We should have put newspapers down. All over the floor. What a waste. Nikolai sighs. Well, hold still, dear Espoir. There's no point in letting all of it dribble out onto the tile. Our night was much shorter than I'd hoped, but you still have a purpose to serve. Okay. You're out just as Nikolai reaches down to put his hands on you. You didn't even get that pleasant ending he had promised you earlier. Death, a swordplay setback. Well, that was Blood and Sherry. I enjoyed that a great deal. That's fun. I knew I was gonna love Nikolai, but oh my gosh, I'm really falling for Ramsey. I want to be Ramsey's friend. I want Ramsey to like me. But I will very patiently be waiting for any more updates on this game because I really want to see more of this. This is a whole lot of fun. I like this. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself. Have a great night, and remember, there is always hope.